So, grade 7 girls, let us continue with Earth's ocean and ocean floor and quickly review the vocabulary terms salinity, thermocline, continental margin. Yesterday, I have drawn the margin and I have shown you that the continent, the border of the continent that touches the ocean, that exactly point is called as continental margin. Then after that, once the continental margin is finished, okay, where the land and the ocean is meeting, after that it comes the deep ocean basin. And I have explained you even about the mid-ocean ridge, how it is a mountain inside the ocean floor, and how it divides and how it has cracks over there, and how it is related to the volcano. And finally, we studied about ocean trench. They were technology, how the ocean floor is studied. We study with the sonar, with satellites, underwater vessels, and the last one was with deep sea drilling. Then I told you about continental margin, how it is the outer side. This is the continental margin, which is having the corner of the continent with the ocean. And here you have the continental rise. Here you have the slope, and here you have the shelf. All were divided here. And then after that, we spoke about deep ocean basin. This picture clearly gives you an idea. See, they have shown you. This is the Washington, D.C., New York. So New York have this, what you call as continental shelf and continental slope and rise. And after that, it is directly connected to the Atlantic Ocean. That is the second largest ocean. And when describing the ocean floor, the features of ocean floor, we spoke about mid-ocean ridge, what I've shown you, how you have some like a mountain in between. And then finally, today we are talking about abyssal plains, very flat regions of Earth, ocean trenches, what are these? And then seamount and volcanic islands. Seamount, and you remember I told you about the mountain ridge? There they have formed islands on the top, and those are called the seamounts and volcanic islands. Now, I want to explain you about volcanic islands. Before I explain you, I want to show you the video.
Plate boundaries.
So this was in
where
Hawaii.
The continents collide.
First of all, I'll say you, this is the oceanic ridge, the mid-oceanic ridge, where these two collide. And when they collide, of course, lots and lots of energy is released. And they will show you the hotspot now.
When they hit, they release unimaginable energy, punching up molten rock from deep inside the Earth. The Pacific Ring of Fire marks a whole series of these plate edges. It's got half the world's active volcanoes. Hawaii is more than 2,000 miles from the nearest collision zone. Beneath the ocean floor is a mysterious area of super hot liquid rock. Hot enough to melt a hole through the Pacific plate, punching up fresh lava. It's called a hot spot. The ocean floor is creeping gradually northwest at 3 inches a year. But the hot spot under it doesn't move.
See how they form the ridge? The hot spots, they, let that develop, and this is the whole mountain.
But as it moves away from the hot spot,
whole island forms.
It is cut off from the source of lava and dies. Over the hot spot, a new volcano forms.
These are the islands, girls.
But if the big island is growing, then what's happening to the island of Oahu? Oahu should be shield-shaped, circular, but it's not. It's long and thin. There's a chunk of it missing. All that's left are 1,000-foot-high cliffs.
because you can obviously tell that this isn't a shield volcano anymore, that there's something definitely missing from this spot.
As the water turns the rock to soil, the cracks burrow even deeper. A fatal weak spot develops until one day,
Imagine,
all just
guys.
lets go.
Whoa.
This cliff is a crack 1,000 feet deep. Based on the shape of Oahu and the height of the cliffs, Lloyd estimates the land used to extend out from here for another 20 miles.
That much it
Oh, this
erodes.
used to be
Imagine
solid rock.
the hotspot, it erodes that much
All
high.
that rock disappeared to the ocean below.
Two million years ago, the island fell apart.
Volcano.
300 square miles, 20 trillion tons of rock dumped in the Pacific Ocean.
See how those rocks went into the ocean?
That's why Oahu has an unusual shape. The rock slide really has taken a bite out of the island.
Monster Math presents Addition Below.
So this is what Hawaii hotspot.
Beneath the world's most breathtaking beauty beats a heart of fire. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park on the island of Hawaii is the place to get up close to one of the world's hottest spots. On the summit of the Kilauea volcano, a voluminous plume of steam and gas jets thousands of feet into the air.
This is
This
always
first
good.
explosive
It remains,
eruption
people go
in the
there to see it.
Halemaumau crater in over 80 years
biggest hot spot.
reminds us there's much more to come.
Imagine, it's flowing.
From the coast of Kilauea to the summit of Mauna Loa, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park surrounds two super volcanoes.
Oh,
Millions of years of eruptions built up shield shapes. Mauna Loa means long mountain, and there's more than meets the eye. Measured from the ocean floor to the summit, it's the world's most massive volcano. In its shadow, Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes.
active
Nearly
volcanoes means
continuous
whenever
lava
you
flows
get,
since
you can see
1983
the lava
have
flowing
added
still.
over 550 acres to the Big Island.
We're on an active volcano. Things are always happening. Things are always changing. And as a geologist, you know, in most places, you don't see geologic change in your lifetime, much less in the course of a week. And here in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, things can change in a day's
Look at
time.
people around there, the geologists.
Once
are-
considered a curiosity,
really, really
Kilauea's
scary.
ongoing eruptions and accessibility offer an unprecedented opportunity to observe the inner workings of a shield volcano. From a hotspot deep within the earth, magma or molten rock rises beneath the summit of Kilauea to Pu'uo'o. From there, it travels by surface flows or below ground through lava tubes to empty out into the Pacific Ocean. When a section of the roof of a tube caves in, a skylight reveals red-hot lava. Volcanologists regularly retrieve samples, checking for chemical changes or anything to gauge the pulse of the volcano. Along the south flank of Kilauea, volcano watchers get unprecedented access.
People can drive right around the summit and onto the caldera floor. They can hike across the caldera. There are craters like Kilauea Iki that you can hike across. You can see land that's less than an hour old. So I think the dynamic, the dynamic
You understand
ever-changing
when they're
landscape.
saying land less than an hour old? You know, like it was hot magma, and after 1 hour it became a land after cooling. In 1 hour it is a land now. So that's less 1 hour, and all day people can go and visit and you know, stand on that land which was just formed, which was 1 hour before a lava. You know, where it comes out, it is called as lava. Very interesting, girls. So what is ocean trench? A long, narrow depression in the deep ocean basin. This is called the ocean trench. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean is the deepest place in Earth crust. Ocean trenches form where one tectonic plate subducts or move under the another plate, where exactly this volcano eruption or hotspots are there. As plates move, the subducting plate releases fluids into surrounding rock. The surrounding melts, forming magma, which may rise to surface to form volcanoes. I've shown you clear pictures, girls. Earthquakes are also common in and along subduction zones. Submerged volcanic on the ocean floors are called seamounts. They are called seamounts. They may form a tectonic plate boundary. Seamount can also form far from plate boundaries over places called hotspots. A hotspot, magma breaks through the overlying plate. You know the plate what we are talking about, which were one over the other, they break and they form a hotspot. And you have seen the biggest hotspot of Hawaii. Coming to the last page finally, because it is a very lengthy lesson. The Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean or smallest ocean? Who likes to answer this? Miral? Pacific, is it largest or smallest? Miral?
Yes.
Is Pacific Ocean smallest or largest? Choose one by your own wish.
Largest or largest?
Very good. It is the largest ocean. Next. Judy? Judy? Hello?
Yes.
I explained that there are detectors by which they study about oceans. So sonar, does it use sound or light waves to measure the distance to the ocean floor? Does it use sound or light wave? Sonar uses sound or light waves. Choose one, you, Judy. Sonar, those vibrations.
Sound.
Sound, yes. The properties of ocean water include salinity, temperature, and density. The temperature of the ocean water varies with depth, usually forming three distinct layers. A seamount can eventually, this is called a seamount. It can grow above sea level to form a volcanic island. Like example, Hawaii is a volcanic island, and I've shown you videos. Zishan?
Yes, miss.
What is salinity? Please choose from A, B, C, D, E, F. What is salinity?
C, the measure of the amount of dissolved salt
Excellent.
in a given amount of liquid.
Excellent. It is the amount of salt, dissolved salt, given amount of liquid. Okay. Next. What is continental margin? Who likes to answer this? Noor, what is continental margin? What is continental margin? Who likes to try this? Judy again. Continental margin. It is the edge of the continent covered by ocean water. If I talk about a long, narrow, underwater depression, thermocline is with great temperature changes. The part of the ocean that begins at the end of the continental margin is the deep ocean. Deep ocean. A long underwater mountain chain, and you have mid-ocean, ocean trench. Ocean trench is, okay, and mountain chain is mid-ocean ridge. So this is how we have finished the lesson today. And let us watch finally the last part of your video. Did you finish doing this, girls? Did you finish connecting the lines?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Number 7, number 8. What's wrong here with the internet?